everyone, it's Jen from You So Much, and today I'm doing my first live YouTube broadcast. Thanks for anyone who might be joining me. I'm doing it through Google Hangouts instead of your traditional the traditional using software, so I don't know if I'll be able to see anybody who chats, but if you happen to join me, please join the chat box. I'm going to try something new for the month of February. I actually got a challenge from a friend and mentor of mine. One of my favorite things to do is to have chocolate for breakfast, and so he encouraged me to enjoy chocolate with breakfast with all of my audience. So that's what I'm basically doing, is I'm celebrating every day, and I'm sharing with you what I'm celebrating. So this kind of got inspired from Evan Carmichael. He's the one who gave me a challenge. He just ended yesterday. It was his last live broadcast every morning at 6 a.m. Pacific time. East Coast time, it was 9 a.m. for him. So, but I would get up and join, not every single day, but a lot of days, his live gratitude streaming. And what he would do was he would talk about 3 things that he's grateful for every morning. And so he kind of encouraged me to do the same thing for 30 days. And I thought, well, I'll just do it for the month of February. This was literally like, I read this last night at midnight before I went to sleep. And I was like, why not? Why not talk about what I really want to talk about, which is celebration, which to me is another form of gratitude. But for me, it goes a little deeper, because it really, when I started celebrating all of my accomplishments in my business, I started really thriving, which was awesome. And so I decided I'm going to do 28 days of celebration. I'm going to celebrate 28 days and share with you guys what I'm celebrating and enjoy chocolate for breakfast while I'm doing it. So today I am enjoying Moonstruck chocolate, which is a Portland chocolatier. And this particular chocolate is an almond dark chocolate sea salt almond, and it's absolutely delicious. So I'm enjoying that with my coffee, and I'll have a different chocolate every single day. And I encourage you, when you hop on here with me, to have some chocolate too. So good, really, really good. So what are 3 things that I am celebrating today? Well, the first thing I'm celebrating is chocolate, of course. One of my favorite, like I said, sayings is chocolate for breakfast. And so I'm having 28 days of chocolate for breakfast, which isn't anything kind of new for me, because I have chocolate for breakfast a lot. And one of the things about chocolate for breakfast, this hashtag that I kind of came up with, is that to me, it sort of symbolizes starting your day off right and making sure you have pleasure in your day throughout the day. So, break the rules and have chocolate for breakfast instead of dessert, right? You enjoy every minute of the day if you can. And so it doesn't have to be for breakfast, it can be for lunch or whatever. And it doesn't have to be chocolate, right? Whatever your form of pleasure is, whatever that might be, make sure you find some fun in your day. And it can be little, and it can be something you celebrate, even if it is little. So celebrate, y'all, and have a little chocolate for breakfast, whatever that is for you. The second thing I am celebrating today is I am celebrating Evan, who inspired this for me. I really enjoyed getting up and finding 3 things to be grateful for. And sometimes they were like silly nonsense things, and sometimes they were huge, big things that were important in my life. And just that practice of finding things that you are grateful for is so huge. And so, like I said, I'm continuing that with my celebration live stream. I'm going to take him up on his challenge for 28 days. And beyond inspiring me for that, he actually is the one who inspired me to start this YouTube channel in the first place. When he originally encouraged me, I thought it was a little crazy, because I'm a copywriter, and most copywriters and writers in general, they highlight what they do through their words, right? They have a blog or something like that where they're writing. And he said, you can still write, you can show your writing in your YouTube videos. And I have done a little bit of that, but it's really turned into more of a tutorial for people to help them learn how to copyright and other things that are surrounded around writing in general. And it's really been a format that I've really embraced and loved. And so I'm really, really grateful to Evan for encouraging me to start my YouTube channel. And also, he featured me in his book that was just published, Your One Word, my business and my passion for my one-word fantasy is highlighted in that book. And on top of that, he hired me to do some ghostwriting for the book as well. So Evan, huge gratitude for you and celebrating you today while I'm starting this live streaming 28 days of chocolate for breakfast, right? Um, and then the last thing I'm grateful for is, what is the last thing? Oh my gosh, I'm live and I'm totally drawing a blank on what I was gonna say. But let's just for the heck of it, tell you a little bit more about chocolate, because I think I skipped over that. I forgot to mention, one of the things I really love about chocolate is it has this huge history, and people at one point were so entranced with chocolate that it basically was a form of currency. People used it to trade for other things, which totally makes sense. I'm just really glad it's not currency anymore, because I would just be eating up all my currency. But one of the things that I really didn't know until I did a little research on chocolate was that it was originally, because people didn't really understand or use sugar in a lot of things, they originally used the cocoa beans and mix it with other spices to make a drink. And it wasn't until I believe it was Cortez and the Spaniards, they're the ones who originally mixed it with a little bit of cream and sugar to create chocolates. And so that is where, like, what kind of we know now as chocolate was created. So we can thank the Spaniards for our chocolate. So there's my third thing right there. There you go. I am celebrating the Spaniards and their discovery of what we now know as chocolate. So there we go. Those are my three things. I don't see any chats in my chat box. So what I would love to see in the future, this is only going to be a 10-minute broadcast, so it's not going to be a super long thing. But if you want to join me, and I'll post the times for future, I'm probably not going to do it at the same time every day, but I think I might do it closer to 9 p.m. Pacific, or excuse me, 9 a.m. Pacific time, not Eastern time, because like I said, that's pretty dang early for me. But what I'll probably do is just, do it at 9 a.m. every day Pacific time. And I will, if I get people in the chat box telling me what they are celebrating today, I will read off my celebrating. I will read off what they're celebrating as well as what I am celebrating too. So I encourage you to post in the chat box, join me, tell me what you're celebrating today, and I guarantee it will be super rewarding for you. And speaking of celebrating, I kind of touched on this earlier, but celebration for me is so huge because it is a form of appreciation. If you think about it, when you're having a birthday party for somebody, you're celebrating that they're alive one more year, right? And it's also for me kind of a form of ritual, which I think is so awesome, to kind of have those moments in your life that are kind of traditions and rituals. And so that's why celebration is so deep to me. And it really, really was a huge thing for me to help me turn around my business, when I started celebrating some of the things that were going right in my life, and not always looking at, oh my gosh, what's happening with my business? Why am I not getting a client? Why am I not getting any more writing gigs and whatnot? So, and it's another way, in like going even deeper, to have a fantasy, because for me, you can celebrate the things that you don't have yet, right? You can celebrate your fantasies, and it's kind of another form of manifestation for me. So anyway, I really hope you guys will join me in celebrating my business and celebrating my life, and I hope that you will celebrate your own as well. So join me in the chat box, and I may do this, right now I'm doing it through Google Hangouts, so I don't know if it looks any different to you guys, but I may in the future decide to do it through the new YouTube streaming feature, which would require me to use some open broadcast software, and I need to figure all that out. So in the meantime, I may continue doing this Google Hangout until I figure that out. But I don't know if it's going to look any different to you guys. I don't know if it makes a difference for you. It might just be a thing on my end. So in the meantime, I hope you're celebrating your day today, and don't forget to write down your fantasies, because words make it real. Thanks, you guys. Hope to see you tomorrow.